Amber Heard or Johnny Depp? Whose side were you on?
Donald Trump.
Zero hesitation from a man. Speaking of Amber and Johnny, it looks like Brad Pitt saw how that trial went, and he's now wanting a jury trial for his divorce with Angelina Jolie. I'll tell you if I think that's a good idea or a bad one. Andy Cohen says that his kids can use his extra embryos in the future and raise their siblings as their own. This popular actress is in talks to play Madonna in a new biopic, and I'll tell you what happened this week in pop culture history with a jam-packed Pop Culture Rewind. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics. If the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial was your jam, another celebrity trial might be closer than you think. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have been in a bitter divorce battle for years, and now Brad wants a jury to settle their situation once and for all. They're bulletproof!
They're bulletproof!
Hey, honey, I should probably tell you. I was married once before.
He says that she sold a vineyard and estate they own in the south of France without his consent, but let's be honest, they've been bad-mouthing each other for years, and I think Brad wants the opportunity to show the public she's not the Mother Teresa that she claims to be. Oh, poo-poo pee-pee croissant!
Can I have a vanilla sundae with hot fudge? And, sprinkles. Rainbow, not chocolate. And, whipped cream, cherries, and,
nuts?
But Angelina Jolie and Amber Heard are completely different. I mean, Angelina Jolie is just as beloved as Brad Pitt. They are both A-list actors. Amber Heard is C-list white trash. I'm not sure a jury trial would really end up garnering the result Brad is imagining. It might actually backfire.
Do you believe in this thing or not?
This is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard. It made me very uncomfy. Andy Cohen has 2 kids, Ben and Lucy. They were both born via surrogate, and Andy has 3 embryos left. In a recent interview, he said, "You know what I'm thinking? This is crazy, but if either of them cannot have kids, maybe in 20 years, they'll defrost their siblings and raise them. Is that a weird thought?"
Yes, it is.
Is this how you get an uncle daddy or a daddy grandpa? Maybe this was a joke, maybe he was New Year's Eve drunk again, but if not, it's too much for me. Raising your son, who's really your brother that you just defrosted because he's been on ice for 30 years, I'll pass.
Does anyone else have the heebie-jeebies?
You obviously know Julia Garner from Ozark and Inventing Anna.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to f***ing kill me!
Well, according to Variety, she has been offered the official role to play Madonna in a new biopic. They said Garner's team has been expecting the offer and will most likely accept, and that the film will follow the early days of the controversial pop star.
Yes, well, Rob, she was born and raised Catholic, then she became a whore, but over the last decade, she has studied the Kabbalah.
Other actors in contention for the role included Florence Pugh, Euphoria star Alexa Demi, and Odessa Young. Singers included Bebe Rexha and Sky Ferreira. What the I don't even know, so we're skipping that. Variety said the audition process was reportedly grueling as the music-heavy production requires a skilled singer and dancer. Now, I had no idea that Julia could sing and dance, did you? I think Julia Garner is one of the most talented new A-list actresses out there. If she can sing and dance, I think she would nail this. Looks-wise, I can totally see it. Madonna is directing, I think, so I'm sure that she'll make sure it's really all on the nose. New Madonna, I can't stand. But old Madonna and her coming up story, I'd be very interested in seeing, especially if Julia Garner is playing her. Strike the pose. This is a thick and juicy pop culture rewind. Let's see what happened this week in pop culture history. This week in 1983, Reading Rainbow premiered on PBS.
Take a look
It's in a book, reading rainbow.
In 1991 this week, 11-year-old J.C. Lee Dugard was kidnapped in South Lake Tahoe, California. She was held captive until 2009 after 18 years of captivity. During that time, she gave birth to 2 daughters after being raped by her captor. J.C. came out with a memoir called A Stolen Life, which was published in 2011.
Bill, I've been searching for a word, and the best one I can come up with is bittersweet. I keep coming back to it. And believe me, the more details you hear about what happened to J.C. over the last 18 years, the more bitter you're going to feel about this story. But there is, of course, the sweet side, that she's been found and alive, something that most people thought they'd never hear.
Then this week in 1997, Farrah Fawcett made a bizarre appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. She went on long tirades and storytelling sprees that made pretty much no sense and was distracted by blinking lights in the studio. Just very weird.
In the park?
The zoo.
Yeah, in the zoo, I know.
I saw the zoo.
In 1998, Sex and the City premiered on HBO this week.
I'm 35.
Oh, shut the up. I'm 140.
In 2002, Kim Possible premiered on the Disney Channel. What an amazing TV show week! Also, rewind to a couple weeks back in an episode when I talked about the Old Bay goldfish had come out, and I said I really wanted to try it. We couldn't find them anywhere. Then my editor of POPlitics, Charlie, found them! And so I'm gonna try them and we'll see what they're like. I opened the bag already. I didn't try them, but I did open it so it would just be easier on camera, and I can already smell them. They smell so good. Okay, so I am an eat one goldfish at a time person, so I can see the seasoning. Oh, these are really good. I knew it. Very good. It's almost like real shrimp.
Shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it.
Tonight at midnight Eastern, this week's episode of The Spillover will drop. This is a very fun, lighthearted, pop culture-y episode featuring someone who has an extremely juicy career dealing with the richest of the rich and the most famous stars. This episode is also perfect for single-servatives. Make sure you're not just downloading episodes individually, but actually subscribe to The Spillover on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you smell like beef, heart or thumbs up this episode. Does the Andy Cohen comment irk you? And do you think the idea of Julia Garner playing young Madonna sounds like a good one? If you would be so kind and sock it to me one more time, get low, get low, get low, share this episode on your Instagram story and then tell people that they're probably ugly and not funny if they don't follow POPlitics. Then hit the save button because Instagram promotes posts with a lot of saves on them in the feed. POPlitics is back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific to close out the week. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics.
Clearly, POPlitics is best served visually, but you can also listen to POPlitics if you just want the audio. Subscribe to us anywhere you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, and more. Also, make sure that if you are listening to the podcast version, you leave us a 5-star review. And don't forget, subscribe to POPlitics on YouTube.